So this next story is not happy. It's not a good story. It's a sad story. But the reason the reason I decided to do the story is because I just want to highlight the fact that nursing is not a safe, cushiony, fun job. It is, in fact, and can be very, very dangerous, right? So we nurses, it's our job to take care of our patients. We don't get to choose our patients. Sometimes our patients, they have mental disorders, so they, a little on edge, right? Sometimes our patients are bad people. When I say bad people, I mean people who are in jail. And then there's sometimes where you are a nurse and you're taking care of someone and just they're gross, disgusting human being. And this story is an example of a disgusting man who did try to take advantage of a nurse. So let me tell you what's going on. And this nurse worked at the Hershey Medical Center, and one of the patients attempted to rape her, which is the scariest thing in the world, right? So what happened? So a nurse at the Hershey Medical Center was working with this patient. His name is Christian Bonnette or Bonnette. So she was working with Christian, and she was walking down the hallway. He tells her, "Come on over, I need your help." As soon as she gets over, he puts her hand around her neck, and she starts yelling and screaming and saying, "I need help." He pulls her into the room, puts his back up against the door while the other staff members are coming over. Mind you, this is happening during the night shift. So according to the story, only 2 nurses at the time came on by, pushing up against the door, trying to get her out of the situation while he still has her around his neck. So this is a really scary situation. And then let me just read to you what happened after. So as they entered the room, the 2 staff members, they tried to get Christian's hands off of the nurse's neck. One staffer said that Christian let go and then ended up punching her in the face. So at this point, you're saying, Q, yes, this is a scary situation, but in the beginning you said rape. This doesn't sound like a rape. This sounds like just assault, like some violence. Yes, at this point, that's what it is. That's what is described according to the documents, right? But it did not end there. Yes, there's 3 staff members at this point, but one of them was just punched in the face. There's 3 staff members versus the 1 patient. But he's insane. He's a disgusting man, like I said from the beginning. So he doesn't stop there. He continues to fight. He pushes back on the 2 staff members, refocuses on the nurse that he called over, that he punched already in the face, throws her on the bed, and at this point his Johnny is off. That means he's naked, and they can see him bare bones naked. And in the documents they state that he was erect, and at that point is when he started to try to pull off her clothing. So yes, it was an attempted rape. At this point, there were more staff members in the room. They called security, and then security got him on the floor. Restrained him onto the bed. Police was called over, and then they took him away from there. So the reason I'm telling you the story, and it's really sad, and I'm happy that she's safe. I can't imagine this happening to me or anyone I work with at work. And let's be honest, 90% of the time, this is going to happen to a female nurse. But the reason I'm saying this is not because I'm just shedding some light on the story, which I think needs to be, but nurses, our jobs aren't safe. And there's a lot of precautionary things that we've talked about in education throughout my time as a nurse, how to protect yourself, what to do in situations when it's just you and a patient that you are nervous about. It doesn't, and throughout the documents, what I've read, there wasn't any predisposition. No one thought that he had some mental disorder. No one was afraid of him as a patient prior. So the nurse wasn't wary when she was walking on over. But these things can happen, and it happens more often than not, and that's why I'm talking about it. It's scary. It really, really is scary, but I am happy. She is safe. She is much better. They stopped him in the middle of the action. The other nurses came to help. They did everything as well as they could have done, and I really do hope that Christian gets the book thrown at him. These are nurses that are spending their entire days, life, nights at this situation, trying to take care of you, and you try to take advantage of them in the most violent and grotesque way possible. Bye. That's all we can say to you. Bye. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate this. If you guys were informed or educated in any way, shape, or form by these stories, please hit that like button. If you liked my presentation of the news, I really suggest you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know every time Q the Nurse drops some hot, fresh press news. Thank you. Catch you next week. Deuces.